Reviewing The Simpsons after what feels like about a month absence.
Yeah.
With a dynamite, crackerjack, absolutely stunner of an episode. Episode 6 of Season 3. The 41st episode of The Simpsons overall. Like Father, Like Clown?
Uh-huh.
Right then, would you like to briefly give a description of what happened in Like Father, Like Clown?
Sure. So this episode's opening device is Krusty is continually turning down an invitation from the Simpsons to go to dinner.
Yep.
It's like a thank you for the previous episode where Krusty was in, where Bart basically proves Krusty's innocence in the whole holding up a quickie amount thing.
All the way back in Season 1.
Yeah, it's got quite a long callback actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it took them so long to pay off that, if they were going to pay it off at all.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It may even be a holdover from Season 2, this episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, you have the impression that Krusty is heavily depressed about life.
Yeah.
And if through a series of circumstances, he does end up going to Bart The Simpsons for a family meal, and a lovable Milhouse worms his way in. When he says grace, because he's invited to being the guest, he starts speaking in Hebrew.
Yep.
And they basically put two and two together that Krusty is actually Jewish.
Yep.
Which is a great little revelation.
Yep.
I like that. And then, even better, he breaks down after that, because when he repeats words from the Torah, it makes him upset, because it reminds him of his estranged father who didn't approve of Krusty becoming a clown.
Yep.
And you get Krusty's backstory. You find out he was... we go to a new area of Springfield.
Yep.
The Lower East Side of Springfield, which is apparently a heavily Jewish community.
Seems to be modelled very much on like New York.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching it, I was thinking of I don't know, the flashbacks in Godfather 2 or something.
Oh yeah.
It's clearly inspired by that flashback, like 1920s slums of New York.
Yeah. I think some of it's inspired by the Neil Diamond film The Jazz Singer.
Right.
As I might be completely wrong about this, but I have a feeling the plot of that film is about a Jewish father disapproving of his son wanting to become a singer.
Isn't that even the one where it goes, "I have no son," which is referenced in this?
I think so. Yeah.
A famous film. Also, to a very deep reference, seems to be referential of the Jewish neighbourhoods in the Philip Roth novel. What's it called now? Plot Against America. Because they even mentioned Saul Bellow in this, so they clearly are heavily... they obviously know what they're talking about with Jewish culture. But anyway, yes, so it's they do flashbacks, and then what happens?
And the children, Bart and Lisa, take it on themselves to get to the bottom of this whole mystery and reconcile the two together, because they're good kids. Yeah. I always like episodes where Bart and Lisa work together to solve a problem.
Yes.
I think they're always really nice episodes. I like seeing them as like the little pair. But Bart's the more rambunctious in your face one, and Lisa's the more kind of thoughtful one. So they try talking to what's he called? Herman.
It's Rabbi Herman Kristofsky.
Herschel Kristofsky.
Yeah, Herschel. Yeah.
Herschel Kristofsky. Yeah. So they try just outright saying, "You got to see your son," and he's like, "No." Then they try some antics with Bart, some silly antics with Bart, where just as a rabbi and stuff and all that kind of stuff. But then Lisa ultimately concludes that no, we've got to outsmart him to see it from our point of view. So they start looking into the Torah, and they're looking up quotes and phrases, from ancient texts and all that, and they're trying to outsmart him. And ultimately, what wins him over is a quote by Sammy Davis.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Davis Jr. And it's basically the Jews are a swinging bunch of people, but all this persecution they've been through, they finally got through it all, and they've survived and they've endured, and they're here today, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that wins him over. It's like, who said that? Was it from this? So I mentioned all these ancient texts. No, it was Sammy Davis Jr. An entertainer like his son, and that wins him over. And Krusty and his father have an emotional reunion.
Yep.
At the end of the episode, they sing a lovely little song together, and that's what closes the episode out.
Yes, well, I think this episode, which I could barely remember, I remembered the ending where they sing the song, but that was it, is actually the best episode so far.
I agree. I really agree.
It's a tour de force of everything that Prime Simpsons can be.
It's the best episode since Lisa's Substitute.
I think it's better than Lisa's Substitute.
I think it's better, yeah. I think the deeper characterization of one of the kind of tertiary characters in The Simpsons in the early days was great.
Yeah.
This is kind of one of the first ones to really do it. I would argue. Well, like a background character is given a new amount of depth to his personality and who he is and where he comes from.
And an actual tragic backstory as well.
Yeah. I like all that stuff. I love all the flashback stuff with Krusty as like a little boy, and he's like, you know, he wants to become a clown, he wants to become an entertainer, but his father doesn't see it that way at all. He just wants him to become like a rabbi or something a bit more respectable. Like,
it was reminded me of season 2 did a lot of stuff to build up Mr. Burns' character.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as good as this episode, just because he's not as like this episode is, as well as being hilarious, it's also got more depth and like tragedy to it.
It hits you there.
Yeah, than the Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really hits you this episode, I think.
It does, yeah. I mean, it's just a great sort of... it's the kind of stories they used to do really well.
Yeah.
Self-contained 20-minute episodes that would tell like a perfect story.
Yeah.
Full of highs and lows and stuff like that.
Full of laughs.
Full of laughs, yeah. Like, they really go deep in how depressed Krusty is.
I love all that stuff. I love the scene of Krusty's like in the bus station.
Yeah.
And he's just watching one of them awful like pay-per-view kind of TV programs he's put in the slot machine. I love that image.
Yeah.
So there's such a great little moment. It's just great. Who voices Krusty's dad?
Who voices Krusty's dad? I'm not sure. Might be Dan Castellaneta.
Maybe.
Yeah, but he's great. Whoever does it.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah. But again, like I just like how it's. I like how they're diversifying Springfield.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I feel it's starting to be. It's almost like Deadwood. They're adding new sections to the town all the time, but before it gets silly, when all of a sudden Springfield has a volcano like nearby, which is stupid and impossible. But you know, I like how they're kind of diversifying Springfield, and so it's a little bit 90s-y, where it's like, oh, you know, how many Jewish entertainers are there kind of thing. It's like hundreds.
Well, that's the joke. The joke is obviously that people say that the Jews run the entertainment industry, including a hilariously racist comment from Spike Lee that would have actually been around this time.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Have you heard of that? Just on a side note, Spike Lee was accused of being an anti-Semite after making the film Mo Better Blues.
Oh right.
It's about a jazz singer who was kept down by like Jewish club managers.
Oh god.
And what he said was, "There's no way I can be an anti-Semite. The Jews run Hollywood, and they wouldn't let me make an anti-Semitic film."
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's pretty stupid. But yeah, like that's what they're playing on, that joke that it's Jewish people run the.
I got all that stuff.
Yeah.
It just made me chuckle. That's all.
Is any of the Simpsons writers Jewish? Do you know? I feel that some of them might be.
Yes, I think a couple of them are, because the comment, as I remember it. I'm pretty sure they are, because I feel like on the commentary, they said a lot of the way they talk was inspired by the way they grew up. I'm pretty 100% sure a couple of them are Jewish. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yes.
It makes sense.
Yes. Anyway, we've not really gone into the hilarious stuff in this episode.
It's really funny.
All the serious things, but yeah. Everyone's favourite character, Milhouse.
Yeah, rewatching all these like in order just made me realise that Milhouse is just my favourite character.
Yeah.
The Simpsons. He's just, every single thing he says is funny.
Everything's coming up Milhouse.
Everything's coming up Milhouse.
Yeah.
It's just everything he says is funny. Oh, but there's a great part where like I like this little joke as well that Krusty won't leave. Like everyone's sick and tired of him, but like he just won't go.
Yeah.
And then like he's gone through all the albums, all photo records, and do you have any yearbooks? No. It's all Milhouse. Do you have any knock jokes? I want to go home. This little stuff like that's great.
He's an amazing. Who does the voice of Milhouse?
Oh, it's
He's amazing, or she's amazing if it's a woman who does Bart.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll do some research.
But he's amazing. Like they're just great. I love the bit where he's actually at Bart's door.
I was just in the neighbourhood and oh, why look, Krusty the Clown. Yeah. Oh,
funniest episode I think by far so far.
Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah.
It
was great. But it was all like when Krusty knocks on the door. Do you think that's him?
Yeah, that bit's amazing. There's loads of just great. This is why I think this is the best episode so far. Like Lisa's Substitute is like an emotional, wrenching episode, but it's not as funny. And there are episodes that are almost as funny as this one, but they haven't got the emotional aspect.
Yeah.
This is pretty much like, you know, it's just as hard to write a great comedy episode of television.
Yeah, I agree.
You just don't get any better than this kind of stuff.
You know, really, it's perfect fusion of everything.
Yeah.
And they would do episodes like this again where they go into depth about the tertiary characters. In particular, one of my favourites is the Mr. Burns one with his bear.
His bear?
Do you remember that one?
No.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Where it's a piss take
of Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I thought you meant I was picturing like a real bear, not a teddy bear.
No. Well, there is a part where Smithers dresses up as a bear.
That's amazing, is that episode?
Hug me, kiss me, stroke my fur.
That episode's amazing, is that one?
Yeah.
What season's that on? How long is it for?
I think it's pretty soon, yeah.
Yeah.
Bobo. Yeah, I love that episode. And I also really like the episode where you find out a bit more about Edna Krabappel and how depressed she is. It's the Woodrow episode. I adore that episode where Bart pretends to be Edna Krabappel's boyfriend and they just write letters to each other.
Yeah.
But Bart trying to get back at Edna and then you find out how depressed and lonely Edna is and it's
feel
brilliant.
Really bad. Yeah.
But it's episodes like those that kind of make The Simpsons for me.
Yeah.
As opposed to a lot of stuff that kind of came before kind of thing, or came after.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that they lost.
Yes,
definitely.
along the way. Well, that's the thing, you can only do so much with these characters.
Yeah.
Like, people often see the turning point being Principal and the Pauper, something we've talked about already on here. But that's a brilliant example of how to do this kind of episode, but in the complete wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, Krusty's dad disapproves of him isn't a ridiculous premise.
No, it's absolutely in keeping with the character that we know so far, because I can't remember before. I can't remember where like they've showed this kind of more depressed side of Krusty before.
Yeah.
But either way, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
It feels right for the character.
Yeah.
So there's just so many elements of this episode that just work. Everything works.
There's no flaws.
Yeah, it's pretty much flawless. It's a perfect 20-minute story.
Yeah.
Beautifully executed. Great animation. I love the designs. Lots of fun new locations.
Yeah.
I like the battle of wits between Bart and Krusty's dad. But I also think it's funny how Lisa does all the work, but Bart's the one that takes all the credit for it. That's a nice little undertone to the episode.
Yeah.
I like the joke as well, where Lisa's done everything she can to get as many quotes as possible. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Bart, that's the best I can do. It's a long shot, but it's the best I can do without learning ancient Hebrew." And Bart looks at her like expectantly, like, "Bart, I'm not going to learn ancient Hebrew." But again, that says quite a lot about their relationship. That Bart is quite he does admire Lisa a lot. Yeah. Which I appreciate a lot.
Well, that's the thing, it not only expands on Krusty, but also Bart and Lisa.
Yeah.
But in real subtle ways.
I'm just trying to think of some other episodes where kind of Bart and Lisa work together.
Well, there's a great one that's already been, Itchy and Scratchy, one where it gets cancelled and they have to bring it back.
That's good, yeah, I like that.
There's loads of great ones. All the ones where Sideshow Bob... the Sideshow Bob ones usually descend to Bart and Lisa solving a mystery. Like the brilliant... one of my favourite episodes, Sideshow Bob Roberts. That's where those two have to go and solve the mystery of why everyone's voted for him. Yeah. Also, there's loads of great ones. Like they're pretty much the core mechanic of if there's a mystery, it's usually them two that have to solve it.
Yeah.
And the joke is the kids and they're smarter than all the adults.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't even think I need to even ask. But what would you give like Father Like Clown out of 10?
10.
Yeah, it's a 10 easy.
Easy 10. Yeah, this is one of the best episodes in my opinion.
I would say this is top 20.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, that would normally be like, you know, such high praise, but this is the fucking Simpsons.
I know, yeah.
They were about 200 10 out of 10. No, there's about 150 10 out of 10 episodes.
150 out of 10 episodes, yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait till we get to like, I don't know. I mean, like, season 3 for me is probably one of my favourite seasons, just because it's when it all like comes together.
Yeah.
Like it's got the emotional, it's got the emotions, and it's got the family in a perfect balance. Like what I like about this episode is that it doesn't feel the need to have lots of Homer and Marge.
Yeah.
Like later episodes would take the route of like new Simpsons would be like, we've got to have all the family members in there.
Yeah.
But I actually like in this one how it's Homer light and Marge light, and they're only used in places where they're appropriate.
Yeah.
It's very much a Bart and Lisa episode.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, it's a Krusty episode. But yeah, so these kind of episodes that we used to do just brilliantly.
Yes.
Like, flawlessly, really.
Yeah, flawless is the only way to describe this episode. It's a fucking masterpiece.
It's such
tour de force.
And it's such a it's such a mature piece of writing as well.
Yeah.
Like these writers have come so far, like in the space of basically 3 years of development.
Yeah.
They understand the characters, they understand what's funny, what isn't funny, and what makes a great episode. So I love this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's truly, truly great.